Oh my goodness, look at all these Christmas cards. It is Erin Reed, and we are back looking at an amazing and wonderful and beautiful assortment of Christmas card ideas so that you can make your own. So stay with me as we check out all these beautiful cards and I explain. They came from my Christmas card swap, which is not too late for you guys to join. So if you are interested in joining in my swaps, that way you can swap some of these beautiful cards. Some of these are in the swap this year. A couple of them are from last year. And link is down below there, or you can join up. So without further ado, let's get started with the first set of cards. All right, this first set is so stinking cute. They're all amazing. I absolutely loved every single handmade card that has come my way. I'm so excited. All right, this first set is from Tracy Harvey, and they are so fun. So what she has done is she's taken the same stamp and placed it on all the cards. She did 20 cards like this. There is a white cardstock base. She's written her name on the back. And heads up, anybody who has a YouTube channel, or they have a website, or they have something that where you can see how they possibly have made this card, or you can check out some of their other art, I will have linked below as well. So as many of those people as I can find, I'll be linking up. So white cardstock base, and then what she has done, and this is same for all of them, is she has rounded the corners for all of them. So she's taken a little corner punch and rounded all those corners on them. As you can see, the card is opening the same for all of them, which is so fun. And then she has kept the same design. So this is a great way of using up a lot of supplies. And I say this a lot in my videos, but it really is true. Same design, just change up a little bit of the background and keep some things the same. Like obviously using the same stamp, but then changing up a little bit of like the background papers and stuff, which I think is so much fun. All right, so the next design piece is she has a background paper, which you can see right here. And she's changed that. Here we have a one-sided beautiful foil shimmery paper. Here we have a red cardstock with a little bit of some, it's like a little Christmassy decor thing. Here we have a red glitter cardstock, as you can see. This one's got green dots and this one's red with snowflakes. So same concept. Then she has added a little bit of ribbon going across. It's either true ribbon like this one. This is another ribbon. It's a black ribbon. This is a green ribbon. It's a little bit thicker, but they're all ribbons, and then black and black as well. And she has tucked on the inside and then just taped it. It's super simple to do it that way. I love that. Next, she has added a stamp to the bottom. The stamp is the same for every single one. It's the jolliest, latest, merriest, brightest, most wonderful time of the year. Don't you love that? That's so cute. She has added a little bit of some gems, either in the top corner, but she may have changed it. Here we have 3, 2, or in the bottom corner as a 3 and a 3, and this one also has a 2 in the top right-hand corner. So she's just kind of changed up a little bit. There's probably like one giant long strip that she cut off little sections and then just added the fun corner. So all the cards, this is exactly the same. She has stamped the image in black, colored it in with a little bit of marker along the waistcoat and the midst, and then added a little black gem in there. Oh, no, these ones are white. How fun. So sometimes we have a black gem and sometimes we have a clear or kind of a grayish looking gem. Matted that behind a black sheet of cardstock, and sometimes the stamped image sheet may be a little bit bigger or smaller. That kind of changed up a little bit. That's cool. I love that. It doesn't matter. And the stamped image with the black cardstock is popped up on top, therefore it doesn't inhibit the ribbon below, and it allows a little bit of leniency. So there's a little bit of a pop dot action happening at the top and the bottom, just a little bit of a rise and a little more of an interest. These are so cute. All right, this next pair I made a while ago, and I actually already gave a couple of them away. I made a set of 4, and there's a video on this on my channel. The link will be up above in the iCard. Therefore, you can find all my 2018 Christmas cards. And this is such a fun one. So it's just a white cardstock base. I then took a little bit of gold foil on the background, some red cardstock, matted it, and inked that edge in black. Added a cute little piece of pattern paper that came from a 12 by 12 that I cut up, so I was able to get quite a few different kinds of cards. Added another strip of that beautiful Renia foiled paper, this time in a green, and then also die cut out the Dear Santa. This one happens to be Happy Holidays, and I think there was 2 other sentiments, which is why there were 4 cards total. Added the Renia foiled paper in the gold, and then some little Nuvo drops in the corner. I do know the dies are from Tonic, and obviously these little Nuvo drops are from Nuvo, so they're so super cute. And just simple cards, but again, same concept, using up similar supplies, just changing up the die that is in there and using up one sheet of cardstock, which I still have some more of that, so I could even make even more of these cards as long as I pull out my dies again. All right, this cute pair of cards came from Kelly Powell. She's made a whole bunch of each one of these, therefore it's repeated the same idea, but she's just changed up the design a tiny bit, but similar. If you notice, the design is quite similar, but when you flip it the other direction, it makes a whole different vibe of a card. So let's start with this one first. So on this card right here, we have a red cardstock base. She's added in her own thing. I love how she's put this made for you because you're priceless. That's a cute little stamp to put on the back. And then she has a handcrafted by Kelly Powell stamp on the back. I need to get one of those because that's so smart. All right, on the inside, she does have a sentiment stamp. May the timeless message of Christmas fill your heart and home with joy today throughout the coming year. Aw, cool. Love that. Once she has made the card, she also rounded the corners, and therefore, I mean, it just makes a cute card. My guess is that she folded it first and then punched the rounded corner. She then put a black cardstock base on the back, and then to emphasize the funness, she added a pen going all the way around to make it look like it was white stitching, even though it's not, it's just a pen. That's a little bit of a fake out. I thought she cut the oval out of the pattern paper and then placed it on top, but what she did is she actually cut the oval out of the black paper and then put this pattern paper behind. So it's kind of like a little peekaboo, and then continued that stitching going around the corner, and then also adding the joy. She hand wrote that joy, which is so awesome. I tried to do that and I don't do a very good job. So that is amazing. And it makes it look with the black paper and the white pen, almost it makes it look like a chalkboard. I think that's so cool. All right, this next card, same concept, a red base. It's got a little stamp on the back. Same sentiment on the inside. May the timeless message of Christmas, you get the idea. Same message as you just heard. Did not round the corners on this one. Instead, what she has done is she's got the pattern paper, and in the corners of all of the papers, she has stamped a fun little corner design. So it actually adds a little bit of an interest in the corner, and it's stamped. And when you see the picture in a second, you'll see a little bit more up close. She's taken that, so this is so smart. The oval that was from here, she has placed over here. So it's a great way, instead of just throwing that oval away, she's using it. Or maybe she did this oval first and then was like, well, I can use that extra paper. Or she thought ahead. I mean, who knows how that works. But it works together, so that way you're not wasting your supplies. If you're cutting something out from one thing and there's a piece left over, throw it on another card. Why not? That oval right here, it's got a little bit of stitching going all the way around it, which is kind of cool. So the die cut actually has like the stitching action happening, or she may have done it herself. I'm not really sure. And then she has added I think she has a stamped and heat embossed, because this feels very raised and it's like a white glittery. It's very, very pretty. So I'm guessing she stamped and then added some white glittery embossing powder, heat set that, and it says Joyful Christmas Wishes, which is a very pretty stamp. I love that. All right, this next pair came from Phyllis Sparkman. They're so stinking cute. If you notice, the design is almost identical. The only thing she's changed is the color. So we have a white cardstock base for a card, very pretty. And if you notice, we have another similar scenario where instead of removing and not using the paper that you cut out, we're using it for two different sections. So she's added a little name on the back, which is so super helpful. Thank you. And on the inside, we have a die cut piece out of red. And my guess is on this card, we have the die cut piece out of green because they're similar colors. The die cut piece came from, if you see right here, we have a matte in red, and the piece that has been die cut is what is on the inside. Smart. And so in the little peekaboo that she's now created, she has added a pretty little image. And I don't know if this is something she printed off or it came from something, I'm not sure, but she has a whole bunch of these images, and I do not think she stamped that herself. I think that came from like a piece of cardstock or something. It's so stinking cute. It might be one of those printable scenarios that you can get. I think it's so fun, and I love it. It's this little penguin hiding behind a tree, and it says Merry Christmas. Same image almost, except for the back, the Merry Christmas is a tiny bit different. And this one does have like a glittery feel to it. So my guess is that maybe this came from a kit of some kind, which is fantastic. I love that. And then in the corner, we have a little bit of some holly, and she has popped that up with a little bit of some pop dots right here in the corner. Love it. All right, this next card is from Lois Mason, and I think it's just so stinking adorable. I think it's so cute. All right, we have a red cardstock base on the inside, open as plain. And then we have an image. So this little image of a snowman, and she made 10 of these, and they're so adorable. And it's the same image on all of them. So this could be a printable, or this could have come from a kit, or this could have come from, all different places. So maybe you can let us know. And so she has cropped the corners just on the top though. So just here on the top, she's cropped the corner. And then she has this green, it's almost like this little shimmer paper. It's very, very pretty, that she has added little brads to and then closed it. This green piece has been popped up, therefore the brads don't sit funny as it's resting on the background. And then she has stamped in this very pretty glittery ink that says Season's Greetings, and it's kind of a mix between a gold and a bronzy, and it's so very pretty. All right, this is another batch that I made, and I did a video last year on these, but I've saved them because I made a whole bunch and I didn't get them all sent out. So I'm adding them into this swap, and it is a very, very simple card. So there's 4 different ways I made this card. The first way is just a white cardstock base, as you can see here. I added another sheet of white cardstock, inked the edge in black, and then did a simple black stamp of this beautiful Christmas reindeer. So gorgeous. The other ones, what I did is I took a sheet of red paper, or a sheet of white paper, misted the whole thing in red, misted the whole thing in green, so there's 3 separate sheets, and then misted the whole thing in yellow. Wait for the whole thing to dry, cut it up so it would map perfectly on my card, and then stamped that reindeer on there. So same concept, except either you could go white on white, or you could add that misting color and just letting that stamp shine, making it super simple. All right, this next batch came from Shania Ali, and she made 10 cards, and they're all kind of similar, but all a little bit different, which I think is so cool. So the one that is kind of different compared to all of them is here we have a red cardstock base, and it opens this way, which I think is kind of cool. I love that. It's just a little bit different. And then she's taken a piece of cardstock and then run it through the embosser, and then added some sort of like glitteriness to the top front of that. I think that's just so pretty. Like she's inked it, or she's done something to kind of raise it. She has then stamped the Merry Christmas, and I think she stamped it in like a gold ink. It's very pretty. And then cut it out and then fit it in that centerpiece, which is that beautiful filigree, which is so gorgeous. All right, these next 4 are all very, very similar in concept. So it's the same thing again. What she's done is she's maybe changed up the background. This card is kind of in this teal color. We have a green color and we have a red color, but they all open the same direction, just like this. Our background, so that's the one commonality between all of these, is that how she did the backgrounds. She's embossed the backgrounds, the different embossing papers, and then has inked the background quite heavily. And so, but it's missing the part that is sunk in. So she's just taken like her inking, taken her ink pad and then just stabbed it all over and then done it in a lot of different colors. And anywhere that it is raised is where it's going to pick up the image. And anywhere where it's not raised is it's going to keep kind of that muted color, that toned color. So she was very careful just to kind of pat the top of it on all of these. And this one has got, it looks like a stamp that she stamped all over. So she did the background, so it's a little bit different. Did the background and then stamped it, and it's kind of fun. So she made all these different background papers, which is so fun. She has then taken different stamps. We have 2 different stamp scenarios going on here. This one, they all say Merry Christmas, but they have a different script to them, which I think is so pretty. So this one is a Merry Christmas in a very old-fashioned, very filigree kind of scenario. And then it's just been die cut out into this rounded corner rectangle. And then here we have a very contemporary Merry Christmas, but still kind of script-like. And then also cut out into that rounded corner. All right, these 2 cards are almost identical except for the fact that she has changed the color. So we have a green background and a red background. Open it up and we have a plain insert, which is great. And then she's taken a stamp and just done a whole bunch of background. I don't know if it's a stamp. I think it's a stamp. It's got like a roundish stamp, and then it's gold, and she's inked the background with it, and they're very pretty and kind of colorful. And then she's taken a die cut piece, this very beautiful die cut piece, and I think it was just in white cardstock, and she has lined it to the bottom, but before she attached it, she took some ink colors that are very complementary, reds on this one, greens on this one, so she flipped the colors, a little bits of gold, and she just kind of used her ink pad to smash it up and then let it dry and then glued it on the bottom of the card and then added the Merry Christmas to the top and the rounded rectangle, as you can see right here in that gold ink, but in different script again, so that is so cool. All right, her last 3 cards out of the bunch have a very similar vibe. As you can tell, they've got some similarities. We have a couple of green cards and we have 1 red card. The green cards open sideways, as you can see right here, and so does the red card. Very similar openings. The background on these 2 cards is very similar. What she has done is she's taken a stamp and then inked the background and kind of made it smushy, and then added a couple of fun stamps to make a beautiful background. Same concept here. The only difference is on this card, she had a border embossing that she ran through and then inked the edge that was raised to give it that beautiful background that you see. Here she did two different versions of embossing and then inked the top to get that raised look. And as you can see, we have the same one. So it makes me feel like these are two different embossing folders, which is kind of cool. And then again, we have that rectangular stamped Merry Christmas. And these two are the same, and this one's a little different, just as a very pop of a Christmas color. All right, next one I made, and this I made for the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hub. I already gave one away because I made a pair, and there is a video about how to make this card. It is fun. It's a white cardstock base. I layered a white sheet of cardstock on the back, inked it in green, another sheet of cardstock on the top. I stenciled this with a pearlescent medium. It's a texture paste, but the texture is just pearlescent. It's so gorgeous. I added a thick burlappy, almost like a twine burlap ribbon on there, added some gems, some of the die cut rainier foiled paper and these beautiful swirls, some layers of ribbon here, and then a couple of poinsettias with the holly on there. And on the inside, I stamped and inked May Your Day Be Merry and Bright. This is a cute set of cards from CJ Smith. They're so stinking adorable. So on here we have same card, but she's changed up and tweaked a little bit. Both cards are open vertically, as you can see here. She stamped her name on the back. This is in a green cardstock base, and this is in a red cardstock base. And again, stamp opens the same way. On the inside, you open the card, and we have a little stamp that says, and that's just the untangling the lights. But that's part of what happens on the front. So when you read it together, it says, getting through the holiday requires diligence, patience, and a jolly attitude. And it says, and that's just untangling the lights. So it's a very interactive card that you have to open it to finish the sentence, which I think is kind of cool. So what she has done is she's taken a background paper of white, and on top of that, she's added this pattern paper. This one looks like it's a white quilt with design, and this one's got a big square pattern of design. And then this border of green of all these little swirlies. She's taken that sheet and then she ran it through an embossing folder. And so therefore we get all this beautiful texture. So it makes it feel like it's a Christmas quilt, which I think is so stinking gorgeous. I love that. She has then stamped the getting ready for the holidays part, stamped sentiment, and added a little kind of fun decorative. I don't know if she scissored it or if it was a die cut that she did. That part I'm not sure. She's added then a woman, little fun lady, who's got Christmas lights going on, and she's got a little star headband, and she colored it all in. And when she colored it, she actually left a little note for me to tell me how she did this. It started off using matte pencils or colored markers, and then she went back in with a little bit of some Copic markers or Spectrum Noir or some sort of alcohol-based markers to give all the fun layers. She's added stickles to like the little stars on here. She's added stickles to the earrings and also to the necklace that makes it look like it's light bulbs. And then all these beautiful light bulbs that you see through here on every color that she has colored in, she's gone through and she's added a gem to match the color. So it's a whole range of colored lights, which I think is so pretty. And then on her feet, she has gone through and added a little pearl to make it look like she's got a pearl on there. And then also stickled and added some stickles to her feet. So there's lots of layers to this. And she did a whole bunch of both versions. And if you can tell, this is a red cardstock base with a green outfit and a green cardstock base with a red outfit. So she flip-flopped and changed the hair color and just kind of changed a few other fun things. So cool, so cute. I love these. All right, this is a card I actually got from Donna Bonowski last year, but it was so close to Christmas, I don't even think I got it up on a Christmas card video, so I wanted to show it off this year. It is on a cream cardstock base, and she did actually stamp on the inside Merry Christmas, and she wrote me a handmade because it came specifically to me, which I think is so sweet. So it was a little handmade card to me. She has a red background, and then on top of that, she has this green pattern paper. And then in the corner, she has die cut out this beautiful pattern. So it's like a little peekaboo lattice work that you see behind there. On top of that, she's added this washi tape. It's glitter washi tape, which is so pretty. And then we have this little reindeer that she's added the gems to the neck. We have popped up a little bits of ephemera, still screw that up. Little die cut pieces that she's added, sleigh ride, Merry Christmas, and then the early Christmas mail. So she's just added a few fun little sentiment pieces, fun little items on here, which makes it so super cute. All right, this is one of my early versions of trying to do some calligraphy. It's very early. I'm not even sure if I'm going to send them off. But if you are really good at calligraphy, this could be a very simple card that you could do. Or if you have a giant word stamp. So that's where the inspiration is coming from. Not that you necessarily are going to be doing this card. So I do have a tutorial about how to do the background of this card. And I skipped over my calligraphy because it sucks. Anyway, it's a white cardstock base that opens up vertically. I add a little bit of the rainier foil to the background. And then from that, what I did is I took sheet of cardstock paper, very simple. I took a laminated sheet of paper, and then I took my markers, like the Tombow markers, any kind of water soluble marker, marked it, sprayed it down with water, and then took the paper and smashed it. And that's how I got that beautiful background. I did it in red and I did them in greens. And this one's got, I think one of them even had a little hint of blue to it, like this one. And then I inked the edges of this one. I outlined the edge in black. I did a thick outline in black on this one, just with the marker. And then I tried to do my calligraphy of the word joy. That's the part I don't like. The rest of the card, the design of it, I love because it's very fun and easy to make. So if you can stamp that giant joy, or you're really good at calligraphy, this could be designed for you. Oh, I love this card. It's so cute and it jingles. Isn't that cute? So this is another one I got from a card swap last year, but I wanted to give you some amazing inspiration. This actually came from Madge, meaning Midge and Madge, I think is funny. And she wrote a little thing, Erin, wishing your family a very magical, fabulous holiday, along with a fun and crazy new year. Don't you love that? And this is from Madge. And if you have not checked out Midge and Madge, you need to, because they are amazing. So, and then she put a little stamp on here that says, "'Tis the season for jolly." So I could actually use this. And she did put a stamp on the back that says handmade by Madge, which I love that. So the front of the card, so easy. She has actually taken this section of the card and she has embossed it. And it looks like a quilting embossing. So pretty. She's inked the whole entire front edge in a dark brown, added a brown sheet of paper on top of that as a mat. And then on top of that, we have Christmas, I think it's Jingle Bells. Yeah, I can read this script. So it's a Jingle Bells sheet of music, which was probably a pattern paper. We have a die cut reindeer, or just a deer, that she's done in a dark brown, and then this beautiful plaid, and then and layered them on top. So they're a little bit staggered, so you can see one kind of hinting behind the other, which I think is so pretty. And then we have right here some sort of greenery that goes around it. I'm sure there's some special name for that, but you know, kind of like pine needles or something like that. A giant Merry Christmas, which is all raised and really pretty, and it's been sparkly. I think it comes like that. I don't think she made that. I think there's like a whole set of these little things. Glued that down, and then she's added the twine, the baker's twine, and added 3 little jingle bells up in the corner. So you have a very interactive card. And anytime I hear jingle bells, I always think of the holidays. It just reminds you of Christmas, like sleigh bells. I think it's so fun. All right, this next set of cards could not be simpler. These are so easy and so fast that you can do. I took a set of inks that are from Clear Snap, and it has a whole variety of inks, and I took my ink block that is about the size of this background sheet of paper. I placed all the cards, as you can see, on a white cardstock base, and then from this pattern paper that I had here, and my stamp block, and there is a video on this if you guys want to see, if you're just not getting it from my description. I took the ink. So for this one, I took like a purple and a red. This one was like red and I think like a light pink. This one was green and yellow. This one was yellow and orange. This one was kind of a gray and a green. And this one's 2 variations of like a pink and a lighter pink, or like a rose and a lighter pink. Stamped it all on, sprayed it with paper, and then took my paper and placed it on top of stamp block and transferred the ink in this swirly pattern that was on there. And I rubbed my finger in it before I added the paper to get all those fun swirls, and let it dry. And that's how I got those background papers. It's so fun. Then I took another sheet of paper that's exactly the same color as the background, inked the edges. The stamps came from Alt New on one package, and I love that there were so many different Christmas sentiments that were in one stamp set. So I think that's amazing. And then in the corner, I took my black Nouveau drops and just added 3 little Nouveau drops in the corner just to add a little bit of fun sentiment. And then obviously the background of this was also inked. Super simple card, easy to mass produce, and a wide variety of colors that you can go Christmassy or non-Christmassy with them and still have the same effect. And the last card of this bunch came from my dear friend Julia. She makes Christmas cards every year, and I got put on her list for the 2nd year in a row, which I think is so amazing. I love it. It is a square card that opens vertically on the inside. She has printed before she made the card. May the holidays bring you joy and New Year's every blessing, and then it has the names of the family. And then she's got a little bit of some washi tape that she placed. It's got a little some Christmas music, or just some music. We have, and then she's popped everything up on the front. So we have a gold like cardstock. It's got like a gold shimmery cardstock. On top of that, we have a cream color cardstock, which matches the background that she is cut out a star out of the middle and stamped "'Tis the Season." That has been popped up. And then inside of that, as a peekaboo, we have some more music notes that she has misted with a little bit of some gold mist. And so you see the flecks of the mist in the music notes. And then she has popped up a reindeer that's leaping, and that has been popped up on top. So this is about the same height as the star. So it's lots of layers of popping up, and it is so beautiful. And she made, I want to say, like 150 of these. That's crazy, but it's so amazing, and I love it. Thank you so much. So thanks so much for stopping by and checking out all these amazing Christmas cards. Such cool inspiration. There is more videos to come as more cards come in for my swap to give you guys all some amazing inspiration. And for all of those of you that made these cards, you rocked it. They are fantastic. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please subscribe. Hit that bell button so you can get further notifications of all my wonderful videos that I put up and my crafting and what other people have made to give you inspiration. See you guys later. Have a wonderful Christmas time. Bye-bye.